Hello, everyone. Welcome to the G-Lew show, Changing the Game. I am G-Lew. I will be joined by my beautiful co-host, Deandra Chanel, and we have a very, very special guest tonight. So kick back, enjoy the show. And just like that, we are back. I am G-Lew. That is Deandra Chanel right there. We are changing the game. And that right there, I'll let Deandra introduce him.
The talented and ever so lovely Torrence Brannon of the Delfonics, but he's a lot more than that. He actually is a talent of his own. He is also a solo artist and a mentor and a writer. So I will let him introduce himself and give us a little background on his history in music.
Oh, he's muted. Hold on, sir. You were muted. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I was saying hi. How y'all doing? Thank you for inviting me here tonight. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on. We truly appreciate your presence.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
So tell us a
Go
little bit
ahead.
about your background.
Give me 1 second. 1 second.
What's up to everyone out there in the chat? Thank you for joining us tonight. This is a special guest right here, a member of the Delfonics legendary R&B band and group. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight. We appreciate the love.
All right. Had too much noise behind me.
All righty.
So tell us a little bit about your musical background.
I thank you for being there.
You can hear?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your musical background and history.
Well, my musical background starts in New Orleans, which I'm very proud to have been born and raised there. Many historians consider New Orleans the citadel and the birthplace of American music. Stuff we listen to today, like rap and R&B, jazz, and blues, kind of all got its start in New Orleans in a place called Congo Square. I talk about it when I'm, around my young students, and let them know that this music goes way back. So I got my start kind of coming up in the streets of New Orleans, French Quarters, singing a cappella on the corners for quarters and nickels and dimes with my friends, and eventually graduating to becoming a professional singer at around, 18, 19 years old. So my start would be more organic and in the streets. Yeah.
What is that? Someone's getting text or something?
Somebody's texting this down too.
Well,
I'm trying to learn from Deandra how to do technology.
I got you. We just need a couple more lessons. So
Right.
you're also a writer and a mentor too. Tell us a little bit about your mentor programs.
Repeat that, please.
Your mentorship programs that you have for the youth.
Oh, yes. Well, my mentorship program is called See a Man, Be a Man. And that's for the boys, and for the girls, we do Princess and Queen. I think I can hear a little better over here. I'm sorry, you guys.
No, you're fine.
And those programs are what I call life mastery programs. And life mastery meaning that we don't propose to solve the problems for young people. We want them to be able to solve their own problems. So we, first of all, make sure that we spend consistent time with them and let them know that we're listening to them and not just talking at them. And that makes a big difference when they feel that you're invested in who they are and what they have on their minds and their hearts. So I look for people to work with me who really have a love for young folks, not people who are just looking for a dollar, because that's not what it's about. So we have a 9-point program, and those 9 points are a reflection of life, So we start with spirituality, and we go through culture and career, economics and education, and we end with personal responsibility, letting them know that, ultimately at the end of the day, they are responsible for their lives. No matter what has happened in their lives, no matter what condition their families are in, they're responsible for their lives. And once they understand that, they can do a better job of taking care of themselves. So that's what our programs, in a nutshell, are about: self-responsibility.
So you have a concert series that's dedicated to raising funds for the youth for these two programs that you have. The Legendary Nights, your Legendary Nights tour. Can we talk about that?
Sure, yeah. Legendary Nights is a monthly music, arts, culture, and education series that occurs in the Myrtle Park Village. And that program really centers around music. What we do is we honor great artists of the past, like Marvin Gaye, Al Green, Aretha Franklin, Sam Cooke. And the young folks that I work with, I train them as waiters, teaching them how to be servers, teaching them how to network, how to speak in terms of public speaking, uh, audio technology, setup and design, stage management. So they're learning while they're hearing the music, right? They're learning. And sometimes they hear music like, we did this song called uh, Who's That Lady by the Isley Brothers. And one of the young men was like, oh, that's Kendrick. And I was like, nah, that's I said, Kendrick took the track. You know, Kendrick is very intelligent. Kendrick took an old track from the Isley Brothers and took another one from Marvin Gaye and got two big hits. You know, so they're learning about the music and the history of the music.
So speaking of that, do you feel that you can relate to the youth, considering that, in a sense, although you're one of the youngest members of the Delfonics, you have this older soul? Do you feel like that is a benefit or a bit of a downfall when it comes to relating to the boys in the program? Because it's just you, right? You don't have anybody else working with you when it comes to this foundation.
Well, I have people in I have a nonprofit agency. I should have said that off the top, called Family Inc. And family is spelled FA-MLI, Family Inc. And under the Family Inc. is where we do the mentoring and the Legendary Nights and many other projects and programs and activities. And so I have a staff of people who assist me in my work. I have a vice president, I have an executive director, I have a secretary. So where it concerns the Delfonics and the other musical things that I do, that's my artistic side. So I don't necessarily expect those guys to become mentors, you know. But if I do ask people who I sing with to do, you know, maybe special performances and concerts and stuff, I want people to stay in their lane where they're comfortable and contribute from that perspective. So we go into the schools, for example, and we put on shows and we do musical workshops and stuff like that for the kids. And so in that way, they're contributing without being pulled into something or an area that they're not comfortable in.
And the thing about that program is that when the boys work for you, they get paid for the day, right?
Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry.
When the boys work with you at those concerts, they get paid for the day as if they're working a regular job.
Oh yes, we got to put some money in their pockets. I think all of us as young men and young ladies, when we get to be about 14, 15 years old, we want some money in our pockets. So we make sure that we compensate them, and we encourage the audience to tip them. You know, I started out at the age of 16 as a professional waiter in the top nightclub, the top black nightclub in the city of New Orleans. And that experience informs me to this day because I learned how to talk to older people, how to behave, you know, how to eat at the table correctly, and stuff like that. So, you know, if you know anything about New Orleans, it's all about the music and the food, you know, and being a waiter was a good move and a smart move at the time because it put instant money in my pocket and it taught me responsibility, being on time, learning how to service people, you know, learning how to pay attention to what people say. And so all of these little things that seem small are really big things that you can carry with you through the rest of your life. So yes, we do pay them for their time.
That's amazing what you do for the kids and how you're changing lives one teenager at a time. Now, a big accomplishment under your belt as well when it comes to the naming of Crenshaw Boulevard. Can you tell us about that?
Sure, it's actually a co-naming, and it's a project that I worked on for 30 years. It took 30 years to get it done. It's the co-naming of Crenshaw alongside Malcolm X Boulevard. I feel like Malcolm X is a man who needs to be recognized right beside his spiritual brother, Dr. Martin Luther King. And we can't get too deeply into it right now, but I think one of the reasons Malcolm is often forgotten or pushed aside or not talked about as much is because of the way he spoke, the manner in which he spoke, and the truth and directness in which he spoke. I admire that because I like to be around people who tell me the truth. I like to be around people who don't cut and mix their words. And I certainly appreciate a man who gave his life for something he believed in. Even if I disagree with something he did, I respect the fact that any human being would be authentic and honest about who they are and what they want to do. And particularly if they're contributing to something that will uplift human beings. And so I thought that Malcolm was quite necessary in terms of the development of freedom in this country. And I'd do it again. Hopefully it wouldn't take 30 years, but I'd do it again.
So I'm sure Mike has a few questions for you, so I'll turn it over to him so he can ask you a few things.
Yes, Mr. Reese. I want to get into. We talked about your great things you do and all that. I want to get into some music, man. Let's talk about these Delfonics, man, and how you became a part of the group. I mean, this is a legendary group. I'm sure you grew up, as we all, but I'm sure you and all the things they've done. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and you joining the group and how that became, how that happened?
Certainly I would. I I'm honored to be a part of this unit or this iteration of the group. About 8 years ago, I was approached by a friend of mine who has since passed away, and he asked me was I interested in joining the Delfonics, and I'm like, sure. you know, I had heard the music. I had never really sang the music myself, but I'd always loved the music, along with the stylistics and Temptations and the Dramatics and all those groups. So to be asked to be a part of that group was an honor. So I've been a part of the group in one way or another for about 8 years now. Norman Carter is the leader of the iteration of the group that I sing with. He was appointed by the founder, William Hart, who signed him to a contract to carry on the name of Delfonics as he began to get sick and he eventually lost his life.
Right.
And so Norman Carter leads the Delfonics, and I get to sing all this great, beautiful music that I grew up on, and to see the fans and their reaction to the songs that we sing makes it all worthwhile. And so it's just a beautiful thing. I hope that people know that the oldies are alive and well. And when we say oldies, we don't mean something in the past. We mean oldie, but something that stimulates us and that inspires us right now today. And young people, when they hear it, they love it also.
Hey man, we love oldies, brother. That's all. That's mostly all we do, especially over here. You know what I mean? So we appreciate you. I want to ask you as well. Once you became a part of this legendary group, where I'm sure you're aware, but like you said, just going around and especially being you guys being the next generation of the group, but still seeing how much love these Delphonics have when you go to some of these shows, and I'm sure you meet so many great people. How was that experience been for you?
It's almost mind blowing to see the reaction and the way the people treat us, the way they love us, the way that they come up to the stage and want to grab your hand. And it's like, it's wild, man. It's a beautiful thing. And it's something that I hope can continue to grow and to permeate the rest of society. I hope that people don't think that things are out of style and not happening anymore because it was done 50 years ago.
Right.
If you hear something beautiful, if you hear something that uplifts you, it never gets old, it never goes out of style. So what I want to convey to people, of all ages, is to never give up and never let go of your culture, and the things that help to shape you and your ideas. You know, those songs, my brother, I don't know how old you are, but I know I'm older than you. But you can put some of those songs on, man, for your woman or a woman that you're trying to, be with. And you don't have to say too much. You just put the songs on and let her know that this is what you mean. This is what I want to say to you, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yes,
Facts.
you do. Didn't I blow your mind time? La la means I love you. I'm sorry. Ready or not, here I come. I mean, you put those songs on, man. You don't have to say too much. you know.
That's a fact, brother. That's a fact. That leads me to this because I got a question from the chat. My brother Mari Torre is kind of speaking on what you just said. He asked question for T. Reese. Do you feel there is a disconnect with the artists in valuing? Wait, there is a disconnect with the artists in valuing their fans.
I think that may be true for some artists, but I wouldn't call them true artists if they didn't value their fans. I think if you're an artist, you have to know that what you're doing it for the fans. You're not just doing it for yourself. So you have to value your audience. You have to respect your audience. You have to listen to your audience. And so I don't know anything or anyone more important to an artist than his fans, his or her fans. But I think that there may be some artists that may be guilty of that, but certainly not us.
Right. Well, I want to ask too, because I thought he asked something a little different, but I want to ask you, do you think there is a disconnect, kind of what you said a minute ago, which I told you we loved oldies, but do you think there is a disconnect with the younger people or people that are not, like you said, looking past some of these classic oldies and don't know about their history?
My camera will be back in a minute. I think that unfortunately, yes, some young people have not been taught the right way. They've not been taught to value that which we've created. We meaning those who came before us. Those people like the Billie Holidays and all of those artists of the past that are responsible for what we enjoy today. And so, if they were not raised correctly, if music is just like any other genre, we have to say, look, to these young people, you didn't invent this music. Everything that you're listening to was passed on to you in some way, shape, or form. Maybe you don't understand it. Maybe you realize. Maybe you can't identify it. Maybe you don't know the history. And this is why I teach, because once young people know what came before them, they have respect for it. It's just like you not knowing who your great grandmother was. Until somebody tells you what she did.
Right.
You don't know. So it's up to us too. It's not really just the young folks' fault. We don't teach them. They don't know it. So if you don't know about something, they can't respect it. But when they see it and they hear it and they feel it, they love it.
I don't know what's going on with your mic. You getting a lot of feedback or something. Okay, there it is.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not in the best space, but is that better?
Yeah, it's better. Probably when you just leave the camera, you just probably need to sit the camera alone, leave it alone.
Okay, let me see if I can do that.
Whenever you move, like we can hear it. So you probably just need to sit somewhere and leave it alone.
Okay. Okay, how about now? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you. Go ahead.
So, aside from being part of the group, obviously you have your own solo career. So those sounds are extremely different from one another because you have like a jazz background, and you're inspired by musicians like Sam Cooke. So, do you find it difficult to transition between the oldies and the jazz that you're used to?
No, I don't find it difficult. The name of my band that I created is called Everything with Soul. And the reason I call it Everything with Soul is because in New Orleans, in the old days when the musicians would be hired for gigs and stuff like that, whatever the people wanted is what they had to play. And they had to play everything with soul. That's where the name of the group comes. They had to play everything with feeling. And so I don't see a distinction between the music. In fact, there's a man on, somebody said they love my t-shirt. Music saved my life, right? There's a whole story behind this t-shirt. But one of the musicians on the back of this t-shirt, his name was Horace Tapscott. And he said that he didn't even call jazz. He called it African American classical music, because people that label music tend to separate people and separate the audience and all of that. And usually there's an imperative behind it that has something to do with money. Well, when you first start loving something, you don't love it because of the money you can make. You love it because it makes you feel good, And so I've never had any problem going from one genre to the other or putting one over the other or anything like that myself, So I hope that answers your question.
What difference do you see in your fan base between your jazz and your classic soul and your oldies fan base?
Can you ask that first part again? I didn't hear the first part.
The difference is between your audience base when you're doing your oldie shows and then you're doing and when you're doing your jazz shows.
It sometimes it's geographical, right? Like for example, with the Delfonics, the majority of our audiences are Latino, but they range in age from 8 to 80, right? And that particular community just tends to really love the classic soul. Now, when we say jazz, you're talking about an older audience that's mostly African American or white. And that's just because of the upbringing that those folks had and the fact that it's not really happening a lot these days. I really am more proficient in what I call classic soul. Classic soul started in, say, like the late 50s, early 60s with people like Otis Redding and Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin, Al Green, people like that, Marvin Gaye, Curtis Mayfield. That's really the predominant music that I perform. I wouldn't call myself a jazz artist. I would call myself classic soul.
So you have, speaking of your solo projects, you have some upcoming events that you have in the near future, sometime in October.
Yes, I do a tour to New Orleans every year. Anyone who is interested in going to New Orleans, I would hope that they would want to come with me. So we're going to go back to New Orleans October the 10th through the 15th, and we're going to go to all of the beautiful, delicious restaurants that serve the delicious foods. I want to do a shout out to my daughter Candace. She has a restaurant in New Orleans called Yakameen House on Tulane Avenue. We're going to go there. Yakameen is one of those dishes that a lot of people don't know about, but it's just as delicious, if not more, than gumbo. And I know everybody loves gumbo. We do the riverboat, we do the French market, the French quarters. We just have a wonderful time when we go back to New Orleans. We learn a lot. We have a lot of fun. Eat like crazy, hang out. And it's a tour I do every year. So that's in October the 10th through the 15th. And they can go to my website, familysoul.org, FAMLI, soul, SOUL.org, and get all the information.
And how much longer are you doing your Legendary Nights tour?
Well, we're going to go until November. So we have two or three more to do. Then we're going to reboot for next year and do some stuff. So yeah, it's been going on since January. When we started out with a tribute to Sam Cooke. On September the 7th, we're going to be in Leimert Park Village. It's a free event, a free festival called the Barbara Morrison Jazz and Blues Festival. And I'm opening for Climax, a group called Climax, you guys never heard of?
Yes, sir.
And then right. And then there's some other acts out there that day that people would love. The White Triple, a good friend of mine, Eloise Laws, and many others. And somebody said they were able to get a picture with myself and the Delfonics. All right, Sandy. And that's September the 7th, Saturday, from about 12 to about 8 o'clock that night. Just different musical acts all day, food. It's right in the Murray Park area, the actual park area, on the corner of Brannon and Crenshaw, Malcolm X. So,
Yes,
yeah.
He said he got to do it one time. La la. La. He's singing over there.
I could do a little bit.
That's right.
No.
So let's talk about some of the artists you've had on
Next
tour
concert
with you.
is in Las Vegas. We're going to be in Las Vegas on September the 6th, Friday. And Deandra, she knows everything we're doing. So I'm sure she probably has the information.
I do, but just in case we have somebody in the audience who wants to be able to go and see you guys, I know you guys have your Vegas show. You guys just had a show in Santa Ana recently, this past weekend or 2 weeks ago with the Delfonics.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago we were out there. Yeah.
But you guys, one of there's one of the last shows that you guys are doing for the year, the one in Vegas.
I'm sorry, I don't know all of the shows coming up, but we have a show coming up in October with the Whispers. We have another show coming up that's been rescheduled. I don't know the date, with Blue Magic. So we have some more shows coming up this year that I think people would enjoy. We're also going to be on October the 19th at the Taste of Soul.
Taste of Soul, that's on Crenshaw.
Right. Danny Bakewell. Shout out to Danny Bakewell. That's going to be October 19th. I think that's a Saturday. And it's like 500,000 people out there. So you got to get out there early, get your chair and stuff, and get ready.
I've been there like the last 3 years. Besides last year, I don't think I went, but the last few, besides COVID too. But yeah, it's real.
Yeah, it's happening, man. It's going to be a lot of great entertainment out there that's going to be happening. So yeah, we still have a pretty full calendar for the rest of the year.
So let's talk about some of the artists that you've had with this concert series that you had. You've had some pretty legendary artists attend this event, correct?
Oh yeah. Wow, I can't think of all of them. Johnny Gill, El DeBarge, The Whispers, Switch, Lakeside. I can go on and on and on, but it has some of everybody out there, and it's free, and you just walk around and check out the music, eat, and just have a great time. Never had any problems out there, none of that violence or any of that foolishness. So, it's called Taste of Soul, October 19th.
But also with your concert series with your foundation, you've had some pretty big artists there as well, right?
Oh yeah. This last one, I was very, very honored you were there that night, and thank you for hosting and being there that night, because my host got sick, he got COVID, he couldn't come, so I asked you at the last minute, and you stepped in and did it. So I thank you for that. And we had a conversation with Brenda Holloway, who was the first West Coast artist signed to Motown in 1964. Everybody else came from Detroit. So she came in 1964, so I got a chance to interview her, sit down with her. I've had Rodney Allen Rippey on there, the great legendary child star from the 1970s. Just a lot of artists that maybe people don't know, like Judy Pace and Frida Payne and some others that've been on there. So yeah, it's been a great thing, so we're going to continue doing it. Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to your children, I know you have a daughter in New Orleans that owns a restaurant, but you have another daughter that sings.
Oh yeah, you know all about me. Yeah, her name is Felicia Diamond, I call her. That's her name, Felicia. And she's a fantastic singer and songwriter, composer. She just did a show down at something called Breaking Sound on Sunset, and it was off the chain. And she has a couple of records coming out, so watch out for her. I wish I knew the tag, but I don't know her social media and all that stuff. But yeah, she's out there, and the other daughter, Jasmine, is a visual artist and a filmmaker. She just released her film. And I got Candace in New Orleans, and then Kelly, the oldest. So I got 4 girls. I'm a girl thing, for real.
I'm sure
Yes.
you have your hands full still.
Yeah, I got to keep these together, you know. brother, you know what I'm talking about.
So I also wanted to talk about you have, aside from doing your foundations, aside from your work with co-naming Crenshaw, you do a lot more for the community. Can we talk about that a little bit more?
Oh, you mean some of the other projects that we're doing?
Yes.
Yeah, certainly. On December the 7th, we're going to be in a community called Park La Brea, and we're going to be doing the 13th annual I've Known Rivers Film Festival. And it's a 2-day film festival. And if there are any young aspiring artists, filmmakers out there who want to submit their films, they can submit them on Film Freeway. But we're going to be there December 7th and 8th doing our film festival. It'll be all day. It'll include shorts, documentaries, feature films, concert films, just different types of films that we screen. And it will include live entertainment. I'm trying to get the Delfonics locked in for that, and my band and some other acts. And so we're going to be putting out the press release in another couple of weeks for that, I've Known Rivers. And then I talked about the New Orleans tour. And then every Tuesday night, one of the reasons I had some challenges tonight is because normally I would be on my computer, but I have a program I do called A Question of Culture every Tuesday night, where we screen films and have discussion. And so I had to leave that in somebody else's hands tonight and come on and use my, what do you call this thing I have? It's not a laptop, it's one of those tablets, I guess you can call it. And I don't use it that often, so I'm actually very proud of myself for being here tonight with you guys, because I didn't know it would work.
We appreciate you making the sacrifice for us.
Yes.
For me too. But yeah, we got a lot of different projects. When we go to New Orleans, we're going to do a project that I started in 1996 called The Classic Photo. So if you guys could imagine getting all of the great artists of today together at one time to take a large scale photo, it might be 60 or 70 of them, right? You know, that started in 1958 in Harlem, New York. And so we're continuing that, and we've been doing it since 96. But we're going to do the next one in Congo Square in New Orleans on October the 13th, right? So if anybody is coming to New Orleans with us, they can be a part of that also. It's going to be a great day. And then we're going to do what's called the second line. And I think, Deandra, you saw the second line when I was at Catalina, remember?
Yes.
That's a New Orleans thing right there.
You know about it, bro? You know about the second line?
I know about it, yeah, for sure. I know that's
okay.
a New Orleans thing.
Yeah. Well, we did it at Catalina in a kind of a truncated version of it, but Deandra was there, and I think she filmed some of it. And I get the people, I get them up, and then we go around. You know, we dance. They follow me, and
is that like I heard that was originally for like after when funerals. I don't know when they do. Can you give the history of that?
Yeah, the history of the second line goes back almost 200 years. In New Orleans, we started, going into the streets with the music. So the musicians will be on the streets with the music, horns, the drums, and they will walk down the street playing the music. And behind them are the people. So the first line will be the musicians and the funeral, the family, of the loved one who passed on.
Right.
Or the wedding. It could be somebody getting married. It could be any occasion. But the second line means it's the people behind the main thing that we're there for.
Okay.
But it also means in terms of its spirit that if you're standing outside and you see that line going down the street, you don't have to just sit on the side and watch. You join in.
Right.
Get your umbrella, get your handkerchief, get your bottle of beer, whatever you got, and get involved. That's the spirit of New Orleans, and that's the spirit of the music that I do.
Wow. That's beautiful. I thank you for that history because I've always heard about it. I knew it was like a New Orleans thing, right? But I've heard some things about the history, and it's good to know the history, where it started and what it means,
Well, you and Deandra need to come with me in October, man. Stop playing. Y'all need to come on with me. Come on down there to North.
I've been, I've been to New Orleans before, but that's why I say I know a little bit about the history, and I've been there a few times. I love New Orleans. But like certain history and things that people don't know, we hear about them, but to know the history and get it firsthand is a beautiful thing. So thank you for that.
No, thank you for asking, man. It's not often I get a chance to talk about it. So, Deandra, thank you for inviting me here tonight. I really appreciate this.
Thank you so much for coming on. I see that you're very, very big on the culture, knowing a lot about the history of what we would say, I guess, black music, soul music, the our culture as musically as a whole. What what was it that inspired you to start these programs to teach the history of music for our culture?
I would say it was the experience I had growing up, because when you grow up in New Orleans, you're born into music. No matter if you're going to be a musician or not, you're going to be exposed to great music. The rhythms are infectious. You can't help but dance when you hear it. You just can't help it. Your body just starts moving. So when I began to discover how important it was when I left New Orleans and went. I'm also an Air Force veteran, so I did my time in the Philippines as a young man. And when I was in the Philippines, we would sit around and talk about where we wanted to go in the world. We meaning me and my friends and buddies and stuff like that. And inevitably, 3 or 4 people would say, I want to go to New Orleans. I want to go to the Mardi Gras. And I thought the Mardi Gras was just a big old crazy party. I didn't know the significance of it or the significance of the history of Congo Square and the French Quarter, Mississippi Riverboat, which brought jazz from New Orleans to Chicago in the 1920s with Louis Satchmo Armstrong, and then went from there to New York, right? And developed and developed and developed until it became what it became later on with Billie Holiday and Miles Davis and others. So I teach the music because it inspired me and it encouraged me and it saved. That's why I wear this T-shirt. Music saved my life. Which, by the way, I got to put a plug in for this T-shirt. Anybody who wants to get one, go with that website. Give it to Deandra. We make it happen.
Show him the T-shirt, Mr. Reese. Show him the T-shirt, man. That's a bad shirt right there.
It says music saved my life.
Yeah, that's dope.
And then it has on the back. It has the names of some of the great artists that I admire. And so I've got musicians right now that are playing with me. I got one musician, for example, who has MS. So it's a struggle for him to even play. But when he plays, he feels good. His body feels good. Now, he might have a rough time after he finishes playing, but he's like, I have to play music or I'm going to die. I have another musician who's a horn player who lost one of his lungs. He calls me almost every day, man, I'm coming back. When he comes back, even if he can't play, I put him on the stage and let him sit in that chair and just groove to the music because it keeps him alive. So Music Saved My Life is not on the T-shirt, but it's a message, it's a movement that we're creating right now. That if you think about it, talking to you two beautiful people right here, what would your life be without music, right? What would it be? I mean, you know what I mean? So that's the spirit behind it. It's more than just a phrase. It really speaks to our lives and important moments in our lives. That's how I met Deandra at a musical concert. So, music saved my life.
So where do the proceeds? Because these shirts are not just shirts that buying for the purpose of buying. These are for your foundation, and the proceeds go to something in particular. Can you elaborate more on that?
Exactly. So each time a person buys a T-shirt, it supports those young high schoolers and middle schoolers in our See a Man, Be a Man, and Princess to Queen programs. It supports our efforts to produce events like Legendary Nights. It supports the nonprofit, so it's a nonprofit endeavor. So they can feel good about spending $20, $25 on a T-shirt because it's not just a T-shirt; it supports a dynamic, historic community effort that resulted in the co-naming of Crenshaw Boulevard, that allows us to take young people to New Orleans, to expose them to the arts. So it's wide-ranging, it's varied, and it's dynamic. So when they buy a T-shirt, they're doing much more than just putting on a T-shirt. They're helping humanity move forward. So thank you for that question.
That's good. That's good. Hey, I got a quick question. I want to ask you, being that you travel with the group, the Delfonics, and what you do, like I'm sure you guys go everywhere. Where's some of your favorite places to travel that you love to visit when you guys go perform?
Well, the Delfonics, this iteration of the group, we've been around the country. One of my favorite places was Atlanta. That was a real nice experience.
Okay.
Another place I really enjoyed was in Texas. We went down to I'm forgetting. I think it was San Antonio or somewhere in Texas. We had a real nice time down there. But myself, as a solo artist, I've traveled to Sweden. I had a great time in Sweden. The people really love the music over there. I was so surprised that they had all the music. I love the Philippines. Africa, Dubai.
Wow.
Anywhere you go in the world, man, they love the music.
How was it going to Africa, man? And how did they like? Were you surprised that they knew the music or loved the music? How was that?
They love the music. If you have heard about this artist called Fela Kuti, if you haven't heard of him, check him out. Because what he did was he came here to America and he took some of the African rhythms, and it was something that was a good harmonic marriage between African rhythms and what James Brown was doing. And if you listen to James Brown, you're listening to some African rhythms, right? So they love the music, they dance to it, they have the music. South Africa produced some great artists, Ghana, Nigeria. The people in the world are not separated. Music brings everybody together, and if they hear something and it's good, they're gonna love it.
Right. That's a beautiful thing right there. That's beautiful, man. To be able to go around the world and the music, be accepted, and I'm sure, like you said, it is. We love it here, so I'm sure they love it too. But it's just, I'm sure to see that, around the world is amazing, man.
It is, but it shows you how close knit people are, and how people are the same everywhere you go, man. People just want to live a good life, and they want to listen to good music and eat good food and take care of their families. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what was it like in Dubai? Beautiful. How were you received in Dubai?
Oh, it was astounding. I actually went to Dubai with Street Corner Renaissance, which is a group that I'm a part of. I've been a part of and co-founded 20 years ago, a cappella. So we don't bring any instruments. We only sing with the human voice. I want you to hear that group, Deandra. In fact, we're doing something real soon I want to tell you about, right? We're going to be on a boat in a marina, right? And so we went to Dubai, and we were the first a cappella doo-wop group to tour that country. And we were revered. I mean, we sung before hundreds of thousands of people. And they all loved it. People from Saudi Arabia, people from all parts of Africa, people from Europe and Asia. People come to Dubai from all around the world, because Dubai is very much a growing, thriving economy. And so we met everybody from all around the world, people from all around the world, and they all love the music. I mean, nobody turned around and walked out ever, So it was a great experience, and looking forward to going back one day soon.
Now, I want to ask you, you've had such an amazing career for many years. Obviously, working with the Delfonics, doing your solo career and your band. Is there anything that you have not done, or anyone that you have not worked with that you would love to work with?
I would love to work with Al Green. I would love to work with Al Green. I would love to work with Uncle Charlie. I would
Absolutely.
love, yeah, I would love to sing with Maze. Um, yeah, I mean, I can go down the line. There's a lot of people. I would love to write a song with Babyface. You know, I love to write a song with him and sit on the stage and just play our guitars. I play a little guitar. You know, in fact, I just came back from Phoenix last week where I just went up there, me and my guitar, and I played for some elders and who were celebrating their 60, 69th, 67th wedding anniversary. So yeah, there's a lot of artists that I would love to to play with. So yeah. Hmm.
What is
Sorry.
in your career accomplished to say that you made it to where you wanted to be when it comes to your singing career?
Can you ask that again? I'm sorry.
What would it take for you to say that you've reached the success of your career that you want to reach? To what accomplishment would you want to complete to show that you've made in your music career?
Well, I have some songs that I've released, and they're on all of these platforms that I don't even know. Some of them Spotify and YouTube. I have a song called "Shrimp and Grits," and everybody loves that song. Go Torrence, Brannon, Reese, and go to "Shrimp and Grits," and then I have a song called "You Know I Love You in Every Way," and I would love to have a hit record. I've had some small, kind of regional things happen, but I would love a national and international hit record to happen in my career with the songs that I've written. I love singing other people's songs, but I especially love the songs that I've written. So everybody go out and get that shrimp and grits. And I wrote
Um,
a song called "Be a Man, Be a Man" after my program, and everybody loves all of these songs. I'm very proud of these songs. Yeah.
Hey, hold up,
Mhm.
because you're a chef. I don't know if you mentioned that already, but you're a chef as well, right?
Me? No, my daughter. My
Oh, your
daughters.
daughter. Okay,
I
okay,
got two. Yeah, my daughter Candace in New Orleans. So
okay, okay.
next time you go to New Orleans, I'm gonna hook you up, bro.
But I'm sure you can still cook though. Coming from New Orleans, I know you can throw down though, right? I
I
already
can
know,
cook.
already
Yeah,
know
you
that.
can about that.
Shrimp,
I,
shrimp and grits. You getting me hungry, brother?
that's my objective, my brother.
Uh-huh. Right.
That's my objective.
where do you see your mentorship program going in the near future?
Well, I see my mentorship program going national and international because I've actually taught around the world. I taught in the Caribbean, I taught in Europe, I taught in Dubai, but not on a long-term basis. I have offers in Africa to go teach in Africa. So I see the program as not only teaching youth, but also being utilized for adults because the curriculum is what I call the root, DA, root, ROOT. And the curriculum is for everybody. It's not just for youth. It helps people of all ages. And I've keynoted in conferences. I've spoken on symposiums and stuff like that. And so, in terms of the programs, I see the programs going national. Like platforms like this. I could very easily, sit here with 20,000 young people, and they would leave knowing something that they didn't know before they came to the platform. So maybe that's something you and I can talk about since you're so super intelligent and you know everything that's going on out in social media.
And
Yeah.
I would love to work on something with you because I do like what you're doing for the community, especially with music. I feel like little by little we're losing the authenticity and the appreciation for real music and the idea that you're still trying to keep this going and you're trying to teach the younger people the history of music and hopefully we may get another Sam Cooke in about 10 years. We may get another Al Green or another Charlie Wilson. Like I feel like we need that again in our culture and we need to really appreciate the music that came before this?
Yeah. Well, I just quite naturally and organically, I just love different things. I love life. I love youth. I love elders. I love the community. I love the music, and I don't see any of it as being separate and apart from each other. And God has blessed me with talents to be able to be proficient in different areas. I think Sandy said she wanted to hear that second song. You know I love you. Yeah, you can go and hear it.
Sandy
Yeah.
said, want to hear it. Want to hear it.
Where can people listen to your music?
Well, they can go on YouTube and listen to it for free. I love for people to purchase it, but they can go to YouTube. They can go to Spotify, Apple. It's on all of those platforms, and it's under my full name, Torrence Brannon Reese. If you punch my name in, you will see, and you can even Google my name and find my music and stuff like that. So, and I want everyone to know that just as my mentoring program and my other activities are under the nonprofit, the music is also under the nonprofit and helps to do the community and social justice work that I have been blessed to do. Mhm.
So anybody who wants to maybe like volunteer or help out in any of your programs, how can they be a part?
They can also go to the website to become a volunteer, or they can send an email, which might be better actually, sending an email to familysoul@gmail.com. And, if I need to give you that information, Deandra, I'll be proud to give you that information. But yeah, you
Yeah.
just need to contact the organization and we can take it from there. We always need volunteers.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so I mean, if anything, I'm more than happy to help you with anything that you have going on with your foundation as well. And I'm sure there's some people in the chat that would love to volunteer and help you. So anything else that we should know that you have coming up?
You should know that I consider it an honor to sit with you two beautiful people. You're doing a great service by letting people know what's going on out here in this world and what people are doing. And I think that's very important. People might overlook that sometimes and just think it's just a podcast. But anytime you can get your voice out there and you can hopefully touch other human beings, it's just a beautiful thing. So I want people to know that although I was called, I guess you call it well educated, I have a master's degree from USC. I've been around the world. That I consider the most important thing in my life is being sincere about who I am and what I want to do in this world. So sincerity is my greatest accomplishment or my greatest characteristic. And being authentic, being who I am, is important. And I encourage everybody to be yourself. Don't put on for people. Don't try to please people just to please them. And if we can do that, I think we'll have a better world.
Well said.
You know what I did miss? Your group that you have. You have someone in your group that is a legend out here in these streets.
Oh, thank you for being so thorough. Yeah, his name is Hence Powell. He has come along in the last month and become my musical director for my band. And Hence is the former musical director for the late, great Bobby Womack. And, he's just an amazing composer, writer, keyboard player. He also plays the trumpet. And he's worked with many of the other great legends, that you probably have heard of. You name them, he's played with them. And so it's really an honor for me to have him in my band, and not only in my band, but to direct my band. And very well, I must say. So if people can come out on September the 7th, they'll see what I'm talking about, to see my group, Tori Brannon and Everything with Soul. And they can meet him, because we're going to be honoring him sometime soon, too. And I'm looking for a place to do that, so I love to play in some other places, out somewhere else, just so people can see what we're doing. Mm-hmm.
Did you have any other questions for him,
No, I think we covered it all. Like I said again, man, it's just great to get the. I mean, I know it's so much more we can cover, but you're just a man of. We'll be here all night, because you wear so many hats, and I just want to congratulate you and honor you, man, for all the great things you do, man. We were here like the people just off the face will just see, you remember the Delfonics, but as you can hear and see, this man has so much more to him and has a lot going on and a great story, mentor, I mean, there's so many great things, out here in the community and abroad across the world, man. You know what I mean? You are a blessed, man, sir. You know what I mean? And we're just thankful to have you here tonight with us, to share some of this.
Well, I certainly appreciate it. I'm humbled and honored to be here. I want to shout out to my mom, Gwendolyn. She's 84 years young in Atlanta. Right now, my brother Sean and my other brothers Troy and Derek and everybody in my family, my daughters, everybody, grandchildren. So, yeah, thank you for this opportunity. Deandra, you're the best.
But thank you again for all you do for the community. It's nice to have artists that give back to their communities and try to do their best to do charitable work and not forget where they're from.
Right. Well, I certainly am honored to be here. So thank you guys again. I appreciate it.
So where can we find you on social media so that we can follow your journey and your mentorship and where you'll be performing?
Well, I'm on Instagram, Torrence Brannon Reese on Instagram, Facebook. I know Facebook is a little outdated for some people, but we're still there. And then they can go to the website. We always update the website, familysoul.org, FAMLISOUL.org. And yeah, we're doing the best we can to contribute to the forward movement of society.
Family Soul, we're removing the I out of it, right?
Yeah, there's no I. This is FAMLI. Soul, SOU, like soul music.
So no,
that's
it's the Y. Is it the Y or the I that's missing?
It's the Y missing. There's no Y in it. In fact, I'll spell it right here. I think I can chat with you guys.
Yeah.
Let me do that right quick so there's no misunderstanding. Okay. O-R-T. I'm put the email.
Okay.
And anybody who wants to connect, this probably will be the two best ways to do that.
Oh.
What happened? We lost him? I don't know. He probably pushed the wrong button. We lost him. Hopefully he'll. Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in the chat. So I don't know if he's gonna try to come back, but yeah, Torrence is doing amazing work for everything in South LA, Landmark Park. He's doing a lot for the community, a lot for the youth. So if you guys would, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the chat so you guys can follow his journey with the charity work and also like the music. Obviously, his tour dates with the Delfonics and things like that.
Hold up, there you
go. Okay, a second.
We're gonna have to work on that technology, Torrence.
Yeah, I'm still working on it, man. All right. I hope everybody got the chat. I put something in the chat, I think.
No, we didn't get it. It didn't go through. I don't know what happened.
Put it in the comment section.
Yeah, the comment.
Not in the private chat. You're gonna put it in the comment section.
Comment section. Oh, I see.
Oh, you put it in the chat.
Yeah, he put in the private chat.
Oh,
Um,
we can't see that. That's only we can see that.
okay.
Dang, he did it again.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's trying to figure it out, people. It's all good. But tell him,
We'll get there.
yeah, we'll get there.
But next week, I'll skip ahead until he comes back. Next week we're gonna have this amazing actor, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, have you ever had a male model on the show?
Say it again.
Have we ever had a male model on the show?
Mel Malo?
A model.
A model. I don't
Yeah,
know.
male. I don't think so. But I think we're gonna have our first male model next week, along with an actor.
You said male model.
Male model.
Oh, okay. There he is. He's back.
Okay, I'm just gonna text them to Deandra because I keep messing something up.
No,
Okay.
you're fine. We'll get it on there for you.
Okay. So thank you guys again.
Thank you, sir. It was a great opportunity and great episode and great knowledge, history. Thank you.
All right. I'll see you guys soon.
Of course, and as we say to all of our guests, if you ever have anything that you want to promote in the future, you're more than welcome to come back.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Of course.
Shout out to Mr. Reese again from the Legendary Delfonics. Man, that was great. Great. That was great. We got a lot of great stuff tonight. Just a little, the sound was a little off, but sorry, people. I'm sure you still got everything though. So sorry about that sound. But man, that was a great episode. Thank you. Thank you to the legend. Go ahead.
Hopefully we can get the whole group on together at one time.
Yeah.
And then we have some other stuff in the works to get a couple of other legendary artists to come on. But in the meantime, next week, we have an actor by the name of Brian Sines. He's a newer actor, and he has worked with. We haven't. Homicide. One of the when Beto came on, I think last week, she was talking about somebody by the name of Homicide. So him and Homicide worked together. He's worked with Beto in the past as well. So he'll be on, and then he's also a male model as well. So we'll get insight and perspective from a male model point of view, like we did with Susie Miss Lizzie the last time she was here.
Okay.
So that's gonna be a lot of fun, I'm sure.
Okay. All righty. There it is,
So
people.
until next week, everyone. Thank you again, always for joining us every day.
Thank you, everyone. Once again, go follow. We'll have all the descriptions in the comments, chats, whatever, so you can follow up with the homie and see what he has going on. But shout out to the Legendary Delfonics again and Mr. Reese for this incredible episode. Thank you, Deandra Chanel. We'll see you guys next week. This is Changing the Game every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Pacific, right here. Shout out to DD Hairston as well and everyone else that joined us tonight, man. Yeah.
Until next week, guys.
Until next week. La la la. And everyone in the chat, much love. We'll see you next week. Check us out tomorrow night, West Side Wednesdays radio show. Much love, everyone. Peace.